Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 records video. It is time to start talking about one of the great bands in rock history, the Rolling Stones. And it's tough to come up with a list of the best Rolling Stones records because I think they have made good albums all through their career. But to get to the 5 best albums, it's actually quite a tough decision to make. But I'm gonna give it a shot. And I'm gonna start off with this album, Beggars Bank. And people might not recognize this cover. This was the original cover, but it had been pulled back because it had a toilet seat on the front cover, which was a big no-go in those days. The Mamas and the Papas had a front cover for If You Can Only Believe Your Eyes and Ears, and also had a toilet cover, and they had to put something over it in design. And the Stones thought, well, we're not gonna put something over here. We're gonna make a total different design, a little fuck you to the Beatles, and this is the one that most people have. It's an awesome record. It has great songs. It has Prodigal Son, Stray Cat Blues, Salt of the Earth, Street Fighting Man. I don't know which I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna hold this one up. It's an awesome record. No Expectations, which has this beautiful guitar, but the best on this record, Sympathy for the Devil. This is one of those songs that you put it on and it just rocks your socks off anytime you hear it. I've been listening to this song on and off for the last, what can I say, almost 20 years. It remains solid, pure, has energy. The guitar solo by Keith Richards is awesome. There's also a documentary made by Jean-Luc Godard about the making of Sympathy for the Devil, and it's not a purely making of record. It also has, how do you say, he focuses on the time and on the changes. It's a great film, also called Sympathy for the Devil. Beggars Bank on number 5. On number 4, and again I'm gonna hold up 2 different covers. It is Rolling Stones Aftermath. And why do I hold 2 different covers up? It's a very simple reason. This is the UK release. This is the American release, and both are generally good. Normally, when there's a difference in the set list on these albums, I think, you know, I'll make the choice which one is the better one for myself. But this one has Mother's Little Helper, which is a great dark song about a mother who needs drugs to just get by in normal day life, which is a different approach of drugs than the rock and roll fueled approach of drugs. But this one has Painted Black, and it's one of the best, one of the best Rolling Stones songs. It's so dark, it has dark romance in it, and I really love it. Aftermath, to me, is perhaps the first record in which the Rolling Stones really developed themselves as dark rhythm and blues masters. I love their debut album, but this one, it's great. Also, I used to listen to this record in stereo, and the stereo mix is okay. Mono, it's gonna bust your balls. It's awesome. Aftermath on the number 4. On the number 3, and this one took some time to grow on me, Exile on Main Street. Now, Exile on Main Street is a record with not a lot of hits. It's a double record, but it's so good. It's their throwback to blues and country music. You can hear that Graham Parsons influenced Keith Richards on this record. They went back to a chateau by Keith Richards in France because due to tax reasons they could not record in the UK. And there's something wild and crazy on this record going on. Listen to Shine a Light. Shine a Light. If you listen to Shine a Light played on this record, it has such an authentic feel, and its melody, it's just jaw-droppingly good. As I said, it took me some spins to get into this album. It has to do with the fact that there are a lot of bad represses of this record going on. Even the recent Abbey Road half-speed mastered version, it's awful. But last summer, when I was in London, I found a first British pressing of this record, and that might be tough to come by, but find an original pressing. I also found a French pressing, which is also decent. You gotta get to the raw bone of this record. It's not just an album of hits, it's a record you need to experience in the purest form of audio and to come as close as possible, because it's in the fingers, it's in the ambience, it's in the microphones being placed with the Rolling Stones in a basement of this big mansion. It has to do with the feeling of the record, and this survives the best when you get emotionally as close as possible. So please go and find an old pressing of this record, because then it will completely come to life. The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. And the number two. The number two. This is a record I've also been listening to for loads and loads of times. Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers is an amazing album. It has some wonderful songs. It has songs which might not have been hits. I mean, a song like Sister Morphine is not a hit. It is amazing. Wild Horses. Wild Horses is one of the songs from which Bob Dylan said, "I wish I would have written that song." You can also hear the country influences by Graham Parson on Keith Richards, because they were friends on this record already. But it also it has this great big rock songs like Brown Sugar. It's in its full length. It is Rolling Stones 70s power. It is such a wild record. Also, this album cover designed by Andy Warhol. It's great, and some people think that it's Mick Jagger on the cover. It is actually not. It's Joe D'Alessandro. He was an actor, a model for Andy Warhol and for Andy Warhol's films. And this is not even the only front cover by on which you can see Joe D'Alessandro. He's also on the Smiths' debut album. So Joe D'Alessandro is there in rock history. And if you try to find this record, again, just like with Exile on Main Street, there are horrible reissues out there. And finding an original copy with which is still intact with the zipper on, that might be hard. But nevertheless, please try and find an original copy, because I've even listened to the Mobile Fidelity Soundlab version from the late 70s, and they boosted the bass, so they fucked up the entire sound. This record has been fucked up so many times, but try and find an original pressing. The best pressing around is the German TML pressing, which is mastered by Doug Sachs. I have compared a TML pressing from the UK with a TML pressing from Germany, and the German one even beats that. And when you get it, put the zipper down, so it is not gonna make scratches on your vinyl or other vinyls. This album, it's great. It's awesome. Now, my number one Rolling Stones record, and it's also the Rolling Stones record which I listen to the most. And I've seen them play songs from this record live. I've seen them play live twice, and it's a mesmerizing record. Let It Bleed. Let It Bleed rocks so hard. It is such an authentic record. It starts out. You've got a song like "Let It Bleed," which is a very good song. Lyrically, it's one of the best things the Stones wrote. It's not the dreamy, let it be, hopeful things the Beatles were singing about. It's let us bleed on each other. We need someone to bleed on. Love in Vain, this great Robert Johnson cover, the great blues guitarist. Midnight Rambler, it rocks so hard. Gimme Shelter, one of the best rock songs with soul in there. One of the biggest epics ever. You Got a Silver, this beautiful country song. Monkey Man, a country hunk. And another epic. You Can't Always Get What You Want. This album is so good. It just keeps on giving. Every song is a gift. It's one of the best records ever recorded, ever put out. Try and find it. I'm sure you're gonna love Let It Bleed. Well, that was my list of best Rolling Stones albums. What is your opinion? Please leave a comment below and let's start a discussion.